It's And Just Like That, Season 3, Episode 12, Party of One, the series finale. After attending a lavish bridal fashion show, Carrie works on accepting her next phase, while LTW finds inspiration to weather the highs and lows of her marriage. Later, Miranda's first stint hosting Thanksgiving dinner goes from bad to worse. I had a smile, but then I realized how upset I genuinely am. And I'm like, that smile disappeared instantly. And in fact, I know this is usually our background here, but I thought it might be appropriate for the death of this show and every character in relation to it. Just be in black, y'all. Like we're in mourning over here. Amanda hates herself in black, so she did change out of it. But if you want to see her in black, you can check out our live stream that's posted on YouTube. It's YouTube exclusive, or you can check out our Patreon, because over at our Patreon, patreon.com/podinthecity, we post this too. You can check it out. We also did something really fun.
We did.
The photo isn't here.
Oh, I must have got rid of it. You can find it.
Amanda and I did a live watch along of the episode where we had the episode playing, and then there's the two of us on the side. So it's a really great time to join the Patreon, because oh baby, you can relive the ending of this with us. We were not happy, I'll say.
Yeah, it was I didn't even think of it that we should be watching it together, but John had a spurt of creative genius in my opinion.
Anytime I get a spurt, the first person I call is Amanda.
You know it.
If you are just joining us somehow and you found us, it's Pod in the City. It's Amanda and Joan. It is spelled Aminata on her thing because one of the sister wives' children wrote it on a card to her once. And if you call me Joan, that's,
it's just a nickname.
She hates gays.
But he does identify as he, him. I just call him Joan.
Yes, I am a he, him. I wouldn't mind. Like, if someone wanted to call me they, I guess.
But also she. But I feel like that's like a sassy way, like, oh, she's pissed.
Well, you can also call me a bitch. You can call me bitch, but here are my pronouns: he, him, and bitch. If you're listening to us on the podcast places, leave us a 5-star review, please. Anything less sends us into an emotional spiral, so don't do it. Then, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit like, and hit share, baby. I'm sure you got one friend that likes Pod in the City, Sex and the City, or And Just Like That. Because you know what's going to happen? Today, we're recapping the full finale, which right now, if you are in a place where you can write a comment to us, please write right now. Did you hate this? I know a few people in our live stream did say that they actually liked it.
I think they were just saying that as a standalone episode, it was neither bad nor good.
We can say that. If this was folded into a season of Sex and Just Like That, I would be like, okay. But as a series finale, it was really bad. And really, everything I've seen so far on the internet is just tearing it apart and saying it's like the worst finale to ever exist.
Except for like HBO Max on Instagram.
Where the comments are like, this, thank you for showing everyone the true reality. Like, literally, okay. One of the comments, this had to have been a bot. It was an older lady picture, and it's like, thank you for showing the true reality of growing old, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, in what reality is this show?
Are those people happier than the rest of us, though? Me and Jody always talk about this. It's like, what would it be like? Those people just live without cynicism.
Even if you don't have cynicism, to say that this show is reality, what? Oh, do you have $100 million and you live in New York City, but don't actually engage with the city because you're actually not filming in the city? Y'all, I have grievances.
We got a lot of comments. We just got one 7 seconds ago. We got a bunch of people showed up for our live not because we're that fabulous, even though we are, but I think because everyone needed a place to come and vent and mourn and grieve. But we've already gotten a whole bunch of comments, and they're all so funny. You guys are so funny in the comments. I love it. But a lot of comments about, like, I don't know if Carrie really chose herself, or did she just like run out of men, or just no one chose. Big died. For one. Like,
I think
Bunty didn't want your ass.
That I know that the story we're trying to tell in this last part is that the woman was alone. Was not alone.
Not alone. Was
on her own. Again, is there a scholar in the comments somewhere that can tell me that that is good? Because I mean, I've read enough books. I don't believe that is well written. I don't like it. But I fully believe if we had a season 4 of And Just Like That. Oh, I want to know what Amanda's reaction. Okay. If we had a season 4 of And Just Like That, there is no way that they would keep Carrie single. Because they're alluding that she's alone now and she's fine on her own. You think if they had another season, she wouldn't date anyone? She would become just like celibate?
I mean, that would be lovely to see if she joined this movement of women.
But I'm not buying it.
Right.
I ain't buying it.
But the writers think that's what they're doing. But it would be really refreshing to watch a woman like kind of come to terms with like regulating her own nervous system and stuff.
That would be great. Happen. Completely living her life for herself,
and genuinely enjoying being by herself. The vibe I got from this is that Carrie was settling for herself instead of actually enjoying life alone.
Or I think the show probably was like, well, we can't rush having her end up with someone. We can't have her end up with Dunkett. I mean, they could have, but what? She was with him for 2 episodes? Like, what kind of ratifying? I mean, actually, I don't know. I was fine with her ending up alone, so I'm not dogging out the idea of her ending up alone. It's just more that, like,
the execution of it was not great.
That was also my biggest gripe about this whole episode is, like, MPK, you have had such ill will. You have complete ill will to your fan base. You have spat in the face of everyone. You could have just done like a very easy layup here, just ending. Even if you just ended it with the girls, there wasn't even a scene of Charlotte, Miranda, and Carrie together in this.
I almost feel like it was irresponsible the way they handled this. I know you're pissed because HBO canceled you, but like it just seems very flippant and irresponsible and bitchy that they didn't at least go back and kind of fix it. Because I did re-listen to the End of the Writers' Room podcast, and that this is really how they plan to end the season with this. They're talking about all the pies and shit. And lemon meringue pie for Joy.
I don't hate
they seem like they're sour and sweet at the same time.
Who?
Joy and Miranda.
Oh my God, guys, Amanda listens to the Writers' Room podcast, and they went on and on about how they specifically chose specific pies for specific people. And I need them to spend, again, I say this every episode I'm calling us an episode, I guess, but every time we're on here, why did you not spend more time developing your story in the time you're choosing pies and floating turds? I don't understand. Though I don't hate the device of her passing out the pies and then at the end eating the pies.
Fine. They're just you could tell how proud of it they were just in the execution of it. They were very like, look at what we're doing.
I just don't think it's a logical or good way to end your show by separating every core character apart and then having like some of them interact for literally 5 seconds. Carrie dropping off the pie, and then that's all the character interaction, and then we just see them in their apartment. That is not even.
You know what I want? I wish that tabloid TV was still more trendy, because I would love to see this week somebody catching MPK at the airport and being like, "So, how about that finale?" and just like seeing how MPK, he would definitely like punch someone out.
What do you think he would be? I think he's in hiding. I think he's at some ranch somewhere.
He should be so embarrassed, because he went on and on about, I've already said this, about how he decided to end it, and then they added 2 episodes, which clearly they did not.
No, I think it was Rebecca who said, do you think that they originally had 14 and they cut it? I think what actually really happened here was they had 10. They asked if they could give him 12, so they split up that one in the middle, and then they split this episode because this also was shorter than everything else, and they easily could have had last week's episode and this episode pushed together.
I wonder if that karaoke episode was written with, but no, because I
don't think any of them were.
No, I don't think they were either. I think
there was no story movement because, as we'll see, let's get to the perfect. We're getting on top of this, baby. But once we get into it, there's literally like it's like, oh, Seema and Adam. Oh no, will they like? Who gives a crap? Okay.
All right, let me find this here. All my clients are asking how my cat's doing because all their dogs are best friends with him. Okay, here we go. It's very cute. They all came running at him, and my mom was like, "No, Amanda." Okay, so here we go. Miranda. Oh God, there's so many notes. All right, here we are. The finale. Can I actually read to you what my episode description is going to be, Joan? Because
yes, I'd love to hear
it. Okay. It says, "Mama, this is a funeral." This is the ending of the whole thing. We were getting nervous around the 28-minute timestamp because the hundreds of possible ways to end this that have been imagined by so many of us fans out there started to seem less and less likely. What we did not know was that there wasn't going to be anything other than a toilet full of poop. Victor Garber, you have played Jesus, Mr. Andrews, and Daddy Warbucks. You are better than this. It has never been more clear that these writers are trying to punish us, and this was our ultimate torture. Anywho, join us next week as we go back to And Just Like That, Season 1, Episode 1, as we work our way back through the series and try to figure out where this all went wrong.
Oh?
You like that? I was pretty proud of myself. My fingers were on fire.
Jesus, Chat GPT, y'all. I'm just kidding. I am
all these emojis.
She actually pours over that a lot to a point where I was like, there was a point when we were first starting and it was like, oh, well, we could go off and on and like we could trade back. And I'm like, you're going to need to write that. I'm not going to be.
I hate writing the episode descriptions. It's just getting, I just need to get started and then it's fine. But anyway.
You guys, though, I do want to say before we jump into all this season has brought in a bunch of new listeners, a bunch of people into our pod squad.
Yeah, it's true though.
I'm only laughing at the phrase pod squad because, ultimately, like Amanda and I are kind of cynical. So we're like, oh. But we're so glad that you guys are here. It's so fun every week. And like, for me, I never watched Rewind. I completely watched Sex and the City. Amanda and I bonded over it, of course. I've seen it a million times. I was the biggest holdout on And Just Like That. I did not watch it until we watched it together. So if you want to listen back to our first things, those were my first immediate reactions to the show.
Yeah.
But it's just been so cool. So thank you guys for sticking through. Thanks for joining us. And if you haven't heard our other stuff, go back and listen to some of our old stuff. Maybe you're just in here because you just found us from And Just Like That season 3, which I mean, ultimately, I'm also sad there isn't a season 4 because our lives and everything are so fun with everyone's immediate reactions. It's so great. So, yeah, I was just getting like, warm and fuzzy for a second.
By the way, I just found these pictures of us going to the Sex and the City movie. Do you want to? Oh my God, we're so.
I'll just say I was going through something here, and this is not how I ever
clearly were. But I guarantee you, I know I thought I was fat in this.
Oh, I thought I weighed 10,000 pounds in this photo.
Oh my God, I hate it. I look disgusting, actually. Okay, here we are. This is at the Arizona Broadway Theater, like housing for the actors. God.
And both do look literally crazy, and I'm like. Not crazy, but like just knowing.
And we went in a pretty bad part of town to this movie at midnight. And like the second we pulled up, Anthony was like, this was a terrible idea because he went in full drag.
Oh, I thought it was great. We had so much fun. And
we did, and we were in the theater and people were walking into the theater. Anthony's like, are you a Carrie or are you a Charlotte? And then look at this. Look at this.
Oh,
the sass pot.
We did like a photo shoot. Love that.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't look like that anymore. Kind of.
Were your eyebrows bleached?
No. No, they do look
like
bleached.
that in this.
They look like what all the Gen Zs are doing nowadays. They bleach their eyebrows. Do you see that?
Well, that's why I was wondering. Like, you're so ahead of your time.
Well, no, but I'm deleting this now from here, so they can't. Well, I'll leave this one of the three of us.
Leave the group one.
Okay.
The group. Okay, guys. I'm just feeling all kinds of ways because here we are, and there's so many sweeties listening, and we just love you guys. So, okay, the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, Carrie, the pie lady, who we know, we've known her. She's the pie lady.
Yeah.
I was going to let you go. I was
transitioning. Well, I don't know why you brought up the pie thing, but okay, but she's at a restaurant, like a Chinese restaurant or a Japanese restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
It's
because I wanted to erase this scene from my memory because this woman is taking her first steps on the earth. She has picked up an iPad and she doesn't know how to order food.
She walks in like she just was like, just beamed there. Like, where?
Like she would be naked, covered in goo. Like,
And then I wrote, this is not what it's like to eat alone as a person actually eating alone. I never feel this awkward. And also as a server, I was a server for like 10 years. I never, if somebody came in and ate alone, didn't even cross my mind to like think anything of it.
The show doesn't even really do that. The one implication is that and I'm not really believing this, actually. I know every joke they put in the show is something that someone experienced, according to the Writers' Room podcast. I do not believe that there is a restaurant in the world, except maybe by choice. Maybe you go to the restaurant by choice and they'll put a Tommy tomato thing in front of you. But nowhere are you going to a restaurant and you sit there and they walk up and just put a stuffed animal there.
I can't imagine anyone who wouldn't be pissed if that happened.
If that was the gimmick, but maybe that was the gimmick of the restaurant and Carrie's just so like, it was like, sit with Tommy. People who are in, like, people like kind of weird stuff. Like, I mean, I'd eat with opposite of robot, but not a big stuffed animal.
I mean, well, also the point is like this. It's so embarrassing to eat. Like, I just don't think that that's our culture anymore. You should be ashamed to eat alone.
I don't believe that Carrie Bradshaw, who lost her husband in the first season, and then this season was in a relationship with a man who was barely ever in the same city as her.
Right.
She never eats alone. This is the first time she's gone out to eat alone. I'm not.
The argument here is that you're not even like single. Technically, you're a widow. So like,
that's what I also wasn't understanding why they didn't frame it more as that. Because I actually don't. I don't know why. Maybe because like my grandmother, when my grandfather passed away, she never remarried.
Yeah.
She was like, that was my husband, and that's who I wanted. Like, so to me, if you're a widow, someone let me know in the comments. Maybe it is the idea of dying alone as a tragic widow is sad, but I feel like at some point in your life,
because men usually die first, and I think most women have been kind of spent their lives preparing to kind of live out your last 20 or so years among your chick friends.
Maybe we're wrong, but I feel like the show's really trying to make it be like, well, they really glaze over her being married to Big, really.
Yeah, they mentioned it here, but even here, it's kind of disrespectful. She's like, after Big died, after I was sad, I was thinking in the back of my head the whole time, what about Aidan? Which is like, well, you didn't even know he was divorced, though. So you were still thinking that? You thought that the second you saw him in the shower, didn't you, bitch? Like, Aidan. Oh, maybe Aidan, though. That's why it took her so long to call 911. Okay, so by the way, in the background here, when she's sitting with Tommy Tomato, they've like ADR'd in a lot of kids screaming.
Okay.
Which I was like, is this supposed to tell? To me, I'm hearing, oh, well, I'd rather be single and deal with that.
Same. I actually was very confused about that when we, again, go join our Patreon. But when we did our watch along thing, I was hearing a bunch of kids screaming, and I kept thinking it was maybe a cat over because Amanda has a lot of animals at her home.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, this is just them having kids screaming. And then honestly, if I were Carrie, I'd be like, goodbye.
They should have. Oh, yeah.
Like, I would just get up and leave. I mean, like,
yeah, there's a back and forth there where he's like, all right. She's like, oh, is this how I order? And he's like, yeah, pick 2. And she's like, pick 2 what? Jesus. Okay, then anyway, the Tommy Tomato comes out. Great. Oh, now we're at LTW and Marion, and we have
LTW. I will say LTW has the most storyline in this whole episode somehow. Except for Epcot.
There's so much stuff to wrap up, but the way they tease Michelle up, I would kill to know what happened behind the scenes behind Michelle Obama's team and HBO/MPK, because something happened.
I just feel like she was never going to be on it.
But obviously there was some discussion where they thought, and just the silliest part is that they thought this was going to be a season finale, but then they still left it hanging as fingers. She said she might. What the fuck?
This, if I'm going to really go down the list of things that piss me off, this is high up there, because you talked about Michelle Obama more than any other character or anything.
Care about Michelle. You gaslit us into even caring about it.
You pretended that Che Diaz didn't even exist. Now, I didn't need you to show Che, but you never had Miranda once say, oh my God, what was I doing last year with Che or whatever? And you had time to mention Michelle Obama multiple times every episode, leading us somewhere. I mean, like, the first time they mentioned Michelle Obama, it was so clear that they were gonna have some kind of thing. But then I'm believing they never thought they were. They just thought, oh, this will be a fun story idea.
That is great. Somebody even, again, and we said this in our live, but just how stupid it, like, and we're not stupid for wanting more, expecting more, but the fact that all of us were coming up with these actually very good endings, possible endings, and they just didn't do anything with it. But somebody had written that they saw that they think that Michelle Obama was going to back out at last minute, and then it was going to be Kamala Harris. But even that, like, okay.
Really, I don't feel like I see Michelle Obama aligning with anything having to do with Anne just like that, ever. So it shouldn't really shock me, because even if Michelle Obama watched one single episode of season 1 or 2, she'd be like, I don't want my name connected to this. I'm actually surprised she didn't do a cease and desist asking them to remove her name from the storyline.
My name out your goddamn mouth.
And what she wants to appear in the episode where the shit toilet's overflowing and men are peeing? I can't get
past the Victor Garber of that. Like, dude, what are you doing? Why did you agree to that? And so
I really wanted to, you guys too. I feel like I'm so negative here, but I wanted this to be okay. I went into this positive.
Yeah, my cat was at the vet, and I was like, I need a distraction. This is the only thing keeping me like happy right now. Okay. Yes. So we wrap up the storyline, and he's like, yay, fingers crossed. And then they hug. And then it's like,
she feels his big dick against her.
Yeah, it honestly felt like that's what was happening, though. Because she kind of like, it was a too long hug, and then she kind of looked down. I think he had a boner, but he was like, we should go grab a drink. And she's like, no, we can't. This is what they said in the Writers' Room podcast. They're like, it's just great because this is a very real life thing. And, sometimes you have a relationship like this, and then you never really need to tell your partner. It never goes far enough. But I'm like, well, she's singing like a canary to Charlotte about it.
Is this what MPK and his editors?
Yeah, they're like, we love this because it's so real to life. Sometimes you have these little relationships. I'm like, it's emotional cheating.
Is it? I don't believe that the show
affair than it was.
I don't think the show showed us anything besides them touching knees once and then her saying that she was horny for him. He never said he was. I mean, Amanda does think because he hornily ate the papaya. Like, he did eat the papaya.
He's always dressed really skanky, though, too. His nipples are always showing.
He is, but that is that because of her, or is that just because he likes to show off? Like, I'm fine with that part.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Honestly, I wish, and this is controversial, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, why we don't want to see this, but I wish they would have fucked. It would have made your show make
they were doing a lot to try to make George Washington seem like cheat onable.
Why didn't they even just kiss once?
Right, that's what it should have been, and then her, or he could have
here when he's like, oh my god, that's so amazing, they should have been hugging, and then he should have kissed her, and she should have been like, that actually would have raised the stakes. Here it was like, hey, do you want to go to dinner? And she's like, I can't do this. It's like,
and he's like, chill, dinner. Baby. He's like, I'm married, you're married. What are you talking about? And then, so that's that wrapped up. She
has 2 more storylines to wrap up. So,
yeah, we're gonna get back to her in a second. Miranda and Steve are now eating. This scene was lovely.
I didn't hate it. I'm still incredulous on that. Like, I don't think that Steve would not go. Like, what else would Steve be doing? Is he by himself on Thanksgiving? He's going to stay home by himself instead of...
He's not down at the boardwalk because it's like November 24th. It's like fucking freezing.
He's shucking oysters on Thanksgiving at the boardwalk? No. Yeah. So I would think you have been together for 30 years or whatever the hell it was. No matter what, you guys don't hate each other. You're not on bad terms. Again, I think that everyone should have ended up at Thanksgiving. They should have fucking done a voiceover and just been done. But again, they didn't want to do that. I don't know why they chose to do this. Is it because they couldn't get Steve to come? They didn't want to have to work to involve him in the storyline. You're telling me Steve wouldn't go to see his son who was cooking Thanksgiving dinner and the mother of the baby mama of his...
There was one comment that came through. I'm never going to be able to find it because there's too many.
There's so many comments.
But there's one that said like, and this is an example of us audience members being much smarter than the writers and like us actually giving them too much credit. But this person said, well, maybe it's showing that each person lives their own life, but they're still all together. But like, then they all have their own separate lives. And I'm like, I just don't even think it was that deep. I think they were like, we want to have a pie being shoved in someone's face. So let's center the whole episode around a pie.
That's also high on guys. Oh God. I'm shaking thinking about the pie wrap up.
The actual like writers room in the writers room podcast, one of the craziest things other than the Stephen Sondheim thing, which we'll get to, is when they said Michael Patrick goes, what's funnier than a chocolate cream pie on the face? I'm like, that's what your problem is, because your version of comedy is like the Marx Brothers.
And was that ever Sex and the City?
No, and there is a lot of
stuff. It's not even And Just Like That. I feel like they're trying. The problem with And Just Like That is the tone. They are trying to make it this like dramatic E-ish type thing, but then you have random parts where like you have Mia farting out her butt, like as though she's shitting all over the place, and then you have toilets running over, and then you have pies in the face. You have sharp turns of tone that really fuck up your show. Like, go choose one or the other. If you want to have this dramatic thing where Carrie's writing the most boring novel in the whole world, then do that. But don't then have a cut in where Giuseppe's like, you know what, Anthony, I cannot tell you.
You wanted the mommy? You thought I wanted the mommy? Is that what he said? A mommy. He said it weird.
Just don't. And I'm sorry, 2 gays ain't doing that. A gay is not picking up a pie and smashing it in another gay's face at the dinner table.
Did that to you?
I honestly wouldn't mind, but I also would be literally like,
if a man did that to a woman, it would be like he would be roasted over the coals on like TikTok.
I would be confused, I think. I'd be like, wait, huh? And then Anthony's reaction is, I'm not cleaning that up.
That's really it for their storyline, by the way, because other than that scene, it's Carrie handing Anthony a pie and him being like, thank you. I didn't want to come to dinner because I didn't want to tell Giuseppe what I'm thinking about and have to have a big group dinner, you know. The end.
The problem is, though, they also only introduced the idea that Anthony thinks Giuseppe is with him because he has mommy issues. What, last episode?
Yeah, and then they don't even show him. Obviously, a lot was cut out of this, which why? Why wouldn't you put everything you filmed into this finale? And you could have come up with something better.
the scene is literally their wrap up and Giuseppe be like, you think that the reason I'm with you is because I have mommy issues? Well, this is what I think about that.
I don't even have the word in English for what I think.
I think Giuseppe has gone to clown school in Italy. Except he's not actually Italian, or he's not actually... Okay.
Well, Miranda, here, let's wrap up Miranda and Steve. It's cute. He says, he's like, I shouldn't have blown up like that, Miranda. And then he said, the writers' room were like, this is great because it shows that they still love each other and they still need each other in their lives. And they're going to be grandparents together.
If that were the truth, he would have been invited to the Thanksgiving dinner, especially if you're inviting Mia and her friends and you wouldn't invite...
They're eating together. They're having just a friendly dinner together. So why would he not? That's crazy that he's not there.
Whatever.
He says, our grandkids...
They couldn't afford him on the day. He couldn't make it to set. It was too difficult to work him into the story. They somehow decided that the best way to approach this would be to have no one together on Thanksgiving for your
very clear that they just couldn't get everyone together on the same day, which at this point, then why even do the show?
I don't think they have gotten everyone together ever once on this entire series.
Well, it carries the Last Supper part deux. That thing. Our grandkid isn't not gonna know who we are, Miranda. I promise. Okay, that wraps that up. That was fine. That scene, we were still kind of like, okay, maybe during that scene. Next, smash cut to a naked Adam ass, which the writers are like, oh, the audience is gonna love this.
I think MPK has a thing for him. Let's be real.
I don't find that guy attractive at all.
I think he's attractive enough, but there was literally a comment that made me die, and I'll still say it, of someone saying, how do you still look dirty after you just took a shower? Like, yeah, I mean, and he does. Shower, I mean, here, and do go back, guys, and look, they filmed this scene after. This, I think, was a cut in because he is wearing
because they talk about it on the fucking writer's room.
He's wearing a full wig. Full wig. Please, guys, please. It looks just like his hair is dirty, but it is a full wig.
And then me and John speculated that this is the only set piece available on the one day they could get these two together. So they're like, we'll just film all of your stuff in the bathroom. So last episode will be in the shower, and then this one he'll be peeing in front of her, pissing, naked.
And he's like, you know what? Weddings are, that's not my style.
He's kind of being an asshole here, honestly. It's kind of tone deaf to say this to your serious girlfriend, regardless or not of whether she's like even talking about marriage. It just seems like a really stupid thing to say to your serious girlfriend. It's so stupid.
It's very flippant. When they're asking you about it, and your very first thing is like, it's not, I don't do that.
Marriage is
cool. Well, you could have mentioned that maybe, because often that is an important part of a relationship.
So Seema, you're gonna marry Adam, the gardener.
Well, I think the problem is that she sees all her friends are married. I saw an interesting thing where they basically said, Seema started the show as this strong, powerful woman that didn't need a man. She didn't. And now she's flipped with Carrie, who Carrie now says she doesn't need a man. And she taught Seema to be dependent on a man, because now Seema is
there's a storyline in there about her coming from an Indian culture where marriage is very much expected. But like they didn't really get it. It was mostly focused around her just being, I want a man.
They didn't flesh it out. But they did. She does say that, this has been like in my destiny since I was a kid.
That was interesting. And then she does say something like, well, is it really Adam's fault? Like, do I need to expect Adam to meet that need for me, or can I just be happy? But again, they don't really flesh it out, because the next thing we're at,
still haven't really shown us like, how old is Adam? How old is Seema? He says he wants kids.
Did he say he wanted kids?
I don't know why I'm reading into that. Maybe one of the episodes he said that, but he still seems in the age of a type of guy who would be like, yeah, let's have some babies. And
because men look at kids the way I saw this on TikTok, the way children look at a puppy. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have one.
Sure. It'd be nice to have a kid around every so often when I decide
I want to spread my seed on this earth. My son.
He's actually, yeah. Okay, so 4 women now. And when we were doing our live reaction, this is one thing we were both very high on. We're like, they all look great. They all look fabulous.
I was obsessed with
somebody wrote in our live comment, at least they didn't put LTW in a heinous necklace this week.
She was in a form-fitting-ish outfit. I loved her outfit.
It was with the tie, and it was
really
kind of
cool.
Loved this. And they're talking about being single, and Carrie's like, Tommy Tomato. And she's like, now, but again, I don't think that this culture still is like this. That are we still talking about if it's okay or not to be single? Maybe at their age group, I guess.
Well, I mean, Charlotte still continues through the episode to be like, I don't, you know, you said that there's no man out there for you, and I don't want you to feel that way. Charlotte, go stop.
Stop. Well, they're at this fashion show, which MPK was like, we knew that
this was the most shoehorned at this. Talk about, like, if everything else is shoehorned, this was incredibly, because the entire reason for this bridal fashion show was so that they could have 2 separate conversations about marriage. So LTW could be like, oh my God. Say Carrie and Seema's, because then LTW's drove me crazy.
Oh yeah, well then they really talk about on the writers' room how proud they are of like having that moment where they're at the fashion show and they see like a mother and child like across them and like look and Michael Patrick, he's like, yeah, conditioning, it starts early, it's really scary. But I'm like, well, so do you want women to be independent? Because if I'm watching this show, it looks like Carrie has a sad ending. Is the vibe I get. But they think that they're really proving a point here.
Well, I think that final line, I think they misread the she was not alone, she was on her own. I mean, that sounds sad.
On her own sounds lateral to alone.
Why do I feel like it almost sounds sadder?
Look, I have a better one. How about just she was by herself? Isn't that better?
No, I still wish it was. Well, I do like the. Well, no, I still, even
alone.
If she wanted to be alone, she could be like, I wasn't alone. I was myself.
I was by myself. That's better than
with myself.
Or I'm with myself. Alone indicates the absence of something that you need.
But on my own reminds me of like someone being on a deserted island and in a survival situation. Like on my own, like I have to fight off like everything in my world. Like
and alone makes it sound lonely, whereas both of those things does not have to exist if you actually like are okay with being by yourself.
If they would have chosen a better song to end,
the song choice was
more poignant about being powerful in myself, like this is me. Oh my God! Or there's a song called "This Is" not "This Is Me." It's called "This Is My Life" or "My Life." I think Shirley Bassey sings a version of it. It's like my life, and I don't give a damn for lost tomorrows. I've got a lot of life to live. Let me live. Let me live. It's like
is it a musical theater song?
No, but it's like an older. It's like
how about "But Alive"? That I feel witchy and bitchy and manic, calm and collected and choking with panic, but alive. It's like a funny song, and it's like happy about being alive. Whereas I'm not getting that from the show.
I didn't like they have, first of all, Seema and Carrie are.
Oh yeah, let's get back to this. Sorry, okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. They're
as always.
Carrie and Seema, and I'll say this again. They said in the writers' room that this scene is an example of a very Stephen Sondheim-esque scene.
I'm going to close this.
Because honestly, like, for theater nerds like us, insufferable theater freaks like us, that's maybe the worst thing you could possibly say.
I was going to say, that might be the most insulting thing that they've said. If you're a theater person, that is the most insulting thing they could possibly have said about this entire series.
The hubris that comes along with that. And they're really saying that about themselves. They're saying we are Stephen Sondheim.
No, the problem is they're just using the reference of Sondheim as though this is a story about what it's like to be married and marriage.
No, they were saying more that it's showing all the different sides of it. Because over here,
if I were going to describe something as Sondheimian, that would not be one of my descriptors for a Sondheim
would
piece.
indicate like intricate and deep and like riveting and like heartbreaking.
Double, like words that are layered,
Mm-hmm.
double meanings on triple, quadruple meanings on what the people are saying.
Clearly what they think that this scene was.
Oh, they have not. Because Seema her whole thing is like, Adam literally was pissing on the idea of marriage. Sondheim would never write that in his thing after showing a man peeing. No, never. I am sorry.
So then they're showing the juxtaposition of Carrie and Seema talking about how maybe it's okay to not be married. Then you got LTW and Charlotte. Oh, by the way, nobody's respecting what the show going on. And they're in the front.
They're not even facing forward, like talking out of the side of their mouths. They are fully like, hi.
Talking at full voice.
Then LTW's, hers isn't even having a conversation. She literally is like, oh, those two over there, they're talking about the troubles of marriage. But you know what? Marriage is a beautiful thing. She goes on like just a monologue about marriage.
Well, no, she goes on about like, what they come to is marriage is, when is it going to be about us? It's always about the men, and they're all just kind of bitching about their men. And
just monologuing, sitting there.
Yeah, it's always about them and their feelings. And she's like, yeah, it's all about winning or losing. And then Charlotte's like, and cancer and sadness and depression. And then LTW's like,
she said, and cancer.
And cancer. Just to remind you guys, yeah, we're like, yeah.
What about vertigo, Charlotte? And vertigo. I wish she would have said and vertigo.
Well, she goes, but would you do it again if you had to? And in the Writers' Room podcast, when they're retelling this, they're like, and then she says, would you do it again? And Charlotte says, in a heartbeat. Or the way that they're retelling this in the Writers' Room is just,
they think there's some stakes, like that we as the audience are going to think that Charlotte's going to be like,
no, I hate Harry. Yeah.
I hate my life.
I wish I'd never gone through that 2 weeks of cancer, that stage 1 cancer that Carrie had, that they had a 99% survival rate. I wouldn't go back and do that again.
Well,
yeah. Okay, so before the end of that,
don't forget, guys, they're front row at the fashion show.
Carrie and Charlotte now walk down the street, just the two of them, and Carrie works out whether or not she can be single. And Charlotte says, well, why did you marry Big? And Carrie says, because I got picked, or I got chosen.
When I got married, I felt chosen.
Carrie is Sheena Shea at age 60. I mean, really, Sheena could be written as Carrie if you really, somebody could do like a thesis statement on that.
And Sheena still has some years until she gets to Carrie's age, and just like that, she could actually turn her whole image around.
Sheena's what, like our age, right?
She's
in her mid 30s. No, she just turned 40 this year. She had a 40th birthday, remember? Heather McDonald was there.
Barf.
So, but she's kind of the Sex and the City Carrie right now. But is Brock Big?
I'm gonna die. Please.
I mean, you could probably really link a lot of stuff.
I want to scrub that out of my ears. Is Brock Big? No, I hate Brock. Thank you.
By the way, we're not on a time limit anymore because the dogs are going home till 4:45. Okay, so they discuss Charlotte's gonna take this moment of growth and turn it into forcing Victor Garber down Carrie's throat, because Carrie actually is kind of working through this, even though it does seem more like she's settled.
She actually says some poignant-ish things here. She's like, I realize that I'm like, this is where I am. And you know what? That is one of probably the most important things you can do from a therapy aspect, is look at your situation and say, here's where I am. If I want to change it, I can change it. But also, Carrie could go find a man if she wants to find a man. Let's not act like she couldn't.
So now we have
Aidan or Duncan. That's it.
She mentions Big there at least for 1 second. John.
Thank God.
LTW. Okay, so now LTW wrapped up her second.
More of LTW's story. Yes.
Oh my God, this dog, this corgi's getting bad. He's like a bad little boy. Okay, Charlotte. Okay, LTW goes to George Washington, who is sitting in bed. He's like taking time off work.
I watched the comptroller. I'm very sad. They can do all day sitting in bed.
He takes his hand. She's like, give me your hand. She's like, ILTW, take you, George Washington.
Did she call herself LTW?
No, but this is what my notes are.
Good God.
Take you, Herbert, in sickness and in health, and forever till death do us part. And he's like,
okay,
I'm still gonna sulk for another couple days, but I'm feeling older.
They're giving more reverence to this than they did when Carrie had cancer. This feels like a speech you'd say to your husband when he has cancer. And
yeah. I lost control.
Priorities.
Carrie now is wearing like what looks like in a movie if you just slept with someone and the woman's like wearing like the guy's shirt. She's wearing that, but as a full-length dress, kind of hanging out. He's planting.
Owns the most. I think she owns the most oversized clothes to ever exist. And I think Sarah Jessica Parker is choosing these clothes because she wants to keep them and use them later. She ruined the costumes. I'm sorry. She ruined it.
She asks Adam, she brings Adam coffee and he's planting bulbs. And then they discuss marriage a little bit. And he's like, oh, Seema told you what I said, huh? So I clearly know that I said that. And I definitely said it on purpose to put that in her ear. But she's like, is Seema just a Thursday? And he's like, no, she's more than that. And I said this on the live, but of course she's not a Thursday. She's like rich and like, of course he's gonna keep her around. I don't think he actually really gives a shit about her, but he's fine.
He has mommy issues.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot the plan. God. Next scene.
She was wild and free. She wants to be wild and free though. Don't forget.
Oh, Carrie, yeah. Carrie says,
I rip out the whole garden and plant wild and free things like her. And he says, then let's do you.
Unbelievable. Now, Charlotte's in the kitchen. Harry comes in and he's like, guess what? I'm hard.
Oh my God. This was the one prediction that came true from the finale is that you get hard and they would have sex.
So next we have Carrie picking up the pies from Shauna, jacking off, and she goes, happy Thanksgiving, Shauna. And she goes, I'm so fucking exhausted. Carrie delivers all her pies. She meets Seema in the middle of the street. They both get out of their cab/car.
One thing I had problems with was when she dropped off the pie to Lily. And Lily's like, oh, my mom and dad are busy. Like,
yeah.
Like all glad, like she was happy they were fucking, or like she was excited that they were fucking.
She drops off a chocolate cream pie for Anthony. We'll get back to that later.
My only I think the reason they paired that up with them is because like when you have butt sex, it could be like a chocolate cream pie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And that was his entire storyline wrap up of season 2 was getting in the butt.
So Carrie arrives at Miranda's and Brady's cooking and he's like, and he's making mashed potatoes. And Carrie's like, can I kiss the cook? And then Brady's
mashed potato.
And so the guest list has gone from like 36 to 6. And Steve's not coming, I guess. And Miranda is like, Joy's dog is sick. But I know that it's because she hates my family. And she's just trying to get out of this. And then Carrie's like, well, why don't you just ask her? So Miranda goes and asks Joy. It turns out that the dog Zappho did eat something bad and he has to get surgery. So Miranda's going to run out, leaving Carrie there with Brady. Next, Mia and her shitty friends arrive, Silvio and Epcot. And there's a line where Silvio's like, oh, she doesn't look crazy. And she's like, that's not the mother. And then Carrie's like, but I am the mother's best friend, so be careful. And then Mia goes, that's just Silvio. He liked to go off. And Silvio goes, he do. We said during the rewatch,
bad actress. She sounds as though she's never said any of these words before. I think she's kept in a cryogenic chamber, never speaking before this role. Because even when Silvio is doing voguing later for some reason or another, she's like, "Yes, queen. Yes, queen."
Yes, she's bad. She's like really bad. But they and then he goes, Brady comes out, and then Silvio's like, oh, he's a ginger. No, girl. I'm like, bitch, you decided to keep this damn baby. Why do you and your friends hate Brady so much? And they've invited you over for Thanksgiving, and you brought 2 shitty friends who I'm sure no one knew you were bringing.
Well, it's a good thing we know who Epcot is, though, because her parents love Disney and she's lactose intolerant and she blows up toilets. I mean,
yeah.
Great.
I did like that joke of like, oh, this is what happens when you name your kid something stupid. They're going to have to constantly be explaining to people. Yeah,
I don't even think they meant to do that.
I really think they're making fun of Gen Z, even though I don't think any of these writers have met a Gen Z person, because I don't actually think this is what they're like.
They did make the Mamma Mia joke, though.
Oh, I heard that. Is it yet? I did write that down, Mamma Mia, and then
I think Miranda's just like, yeah, but what about Mamma Mia?
Oh, I got it. Who are those people with Mamma Mia? Charlotte says, and then Carrie goes, her backup singers. But Victor Garber now arrives, and he's brought his favorite Pinot Noir.
He's giving crotchety old man, creepy crotchety old man, though. He's not giving me like anything for Carrie.
He's giving me like, fine. He's like a nice, polite guy. But Brady has to run out and get seaweed and cucumbers because Mia has announced that that's all she eats these days. So Brady goes out and gets them. And Miranda now is at the vet with Joy. And this is where me and Joan assumed that Che was going to come out. And it was like,
we didn't assume. It was wishful thinking. I do not, you know what? If Che would have appeared on this episode or Samantha if Che or Samantha appeared on this episode, I think I probably would have fainted because there was no way I believed that was actually happening, but I wished.
So it turns out that Sappho ate a Lego piece he got from the park. And then Joy's like, see, this is exactly why I don't like children. And I was like, yeah, I hear that. And anyway, it turns out that Sappho's fine. The performance of this was very good, of Joy being like relieved that the dog is good. I like cried a little.
It was, but it also felt slightly out of place next to shit bubbling out of us.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're at Garber and Carrie. Now we're in the kitchen. They've been instructed to make sure that the turkey's done. There is something that gets fucked up with the timeline here. Like, I'd love to know how long this is.
She does say, oh, is it done? I'll take it out and we can put it back in if it's not done.
Right, but then later, Brady's like, the turkey's raw. This is the timeline problem. Brady has been gone for what? Half an hour at the most. He comes back. He's like, the turkey's raw. And then Carrie goes, oh no, can't you just put it back in? And Brady goes, well, do you got 2 hours? So has this turkey been sitting out? How long has this turkey been sitting back out?
Oh, yeah.
Timeline wise, that just doesn't really make sense. If he had just gotten back and they put it back in.
It doesn't make any sense.
It would still be an hour and a half.
2 hours to go get the damn.
Exactly.
Shit. Yeah.
So they think the turkey's done. Charlotte comes over to drop off her stuffing, which I would not be making this trip just for that. I'd be like, well, we're not coming to Thanksgiving, so that's a wash, right?
I don't know why they just didn't go to I don't know. Whatever.
Well, she goes, who are these people with Mamma Mia? And then Carrie goes, her backup singers. And Charlotte and Carrie's like, Charlotte, I need to see you in the bedroom. This is the best outfit Charlotte's ever worn, I think, in the whole.
She looks
brown.
Great.
Like Carrie's like, what the fuck? And Charlotte's like, you look so sad and lonely. And oh my God, I don't want you to end up without a man in your life. So I chose the one single guy that I know.
She's like, I thought you had chemistry. And Carrie's like, it was small talk. Like,
right. And then Carrie's like, he's been married 3 times, Charlotte. And as everyone has pointed out, you are Big's third wife.
Also, Carrie, you basically could have been married 3 times. You would have married Aidan. You were engaged to him.
Yeah.
And then you married Big.
Hold on. Let me just all right. We're back.
Yes, queen.
Yes. Sully's fine. His cone is still on and he's asleep. Here, this is Latrice. You don't see her a lot, but she's here.
I'm just doing what typically, if you're gay, you go to Thanksgivings and you put on Vogue shows. So
yeah, they had on like techno music playing, and like Miranda arrives back and they're like raving. I think they're like, what's it called? Rolling. Yeah.
Well,
and then Mia says, I love dogs, because Miranda talks about the dogs. And Mia goes, I love dogs. I used to have a puppy, but someone left the door open and it ran away.
And that is considered a joke. I would be like, you're a horrible person.
Like
that is not a story you tell people either. That makes you look like an incredibly neglectful idiot.
Well, now things are really going to start moving along here, because Epcot comes out of the bathroom and goes, I just blew up the toilet because the cheese ran right through me. Brady comes in now and announces the turkey's raw. Oh, do you have 2 hours? Carrie says, can't you put it back in? And Brady says, y'all got 2 hours. How long has this turkey been sitting out? Mia's now eating cheese, and Brady's like, what? You're eating cheese? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, why did I go out and get seaweed and cucumber then? And she's like, again, nobody asked you to do that. She's the worst. And I know that they're writing them to be the worst, but I employ half the neighborhood kids around here and they're all like 16, 17, and they do not act like this.
It's horrible writing, but then she's also really bad at delivering it to
she's
making it realistic and all. Because she's like, dude, that was your choice.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very clear that this isn't how you are either, girl. I mean, your parents are Ben Stiller and Christine Taylor. Like, I can tell you right now, you're not like, or Christine Taylor?
Christine Taylor. Carrie and Miranda. Okay, so here on the writers' room. So now we smash cut to the end. We're now, Thanksgiving's over. So me and John were like, wait a second. We're not gonna.
It's like all prediction out the window.
Yeah.
Because again, that would have been the. I'm going to pound it on home. Why was that not just the episode? We thought no one would be there. And then at the last minute, everyone comes together. And I understand we want to keep Carrie on this. She was alone. It's okay. But it's okay to be alone. But then also know that you have.
Yeah.
That would have been a much more uplifting ending. Again, the woman realized she wasn't alone. She had everyone and everything she needed right in front of her.
She goes, we as gay people, we can choose our own.
Exactly. I mean, girl, watch RuPaul once and then rewrite the ending.
Well, now we have this part. Okay, so they're sitting there, Carrie and Miranda, and they're talking about the party. Like they're doing a debrief, and the writers are like, I love these two at their party debriefing. I'm like, oh, because of that yogurt scene when Carrie blew up on Miranda last time? This is like a thing of theirs? God. So they're sitting there, and now Victor Garber goes to the bathroom. We get to see him peeing, and he looks down, and the toilet explodes, and he's like, no! And we talked about this on the live, but John said that he heard that the writers said that it was silicone, and they had to get this poop specially made. But then I said, if you blow up a toilet because your stomach isn't agreeing with what you ate, you wouldn't have solid poop. It would be like,
no, this would be sludge.
Yeah.
The writer's room also is implying that this is a joke that they've wanted to this scenario is something they've wanted to explore for years. Well, you did it really badly. And logistically, from somewhat of a logistics person, again, it wasn't working, babe, because the shit and water were spraying all over the floor, all over his shoes. He opened the door.
He would be running out like, ah!
Also, with as small as the bathroom was, the moment you open the door, shit water would be pouring out from out of it.
Oh yeah,
he just walks out of it like, hey ladies, there's a problem in there.
Okay, something happened downstairs, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I think Latrice like scratched someone. Fucking deserved it. Okay, so Victor Garber comes out and he goes, there was a bathroom mishap. This was a line I thought was kind of funny. I didn't hear it the first time we watched it, but he's like, I just want to make it clear that it wasn't my bathroom mishap. I do not have a problem with French cheese. I thought that was kind of funny because it seems like they're trying to develop his character into this kind of uppity rich guy. So he's like, I do not have a problem with French cheese. He's doing his best.
If there was a season 4, they wouldn't even mention this guy again.
Let's wrap this up here. Miranda now is cleaning up the bathroom and like in full like sleeves of just
this is again I'm gonna need us to wrap our head around logistics here. She has gloves on.
Yeah.
She is soaking up what we've seen to be fully brown water with poop turds in it. Yeah. She's soaking it up, wringing it out.
Yeah.
Joy comes in. She will have poop water on her hands, arms, knees, everything. It's covering the floor. Even if she's wiped it up, it's still there. You got to mop. You got to get some antibacterial or something on there. And then Joy comes in, gets down on the floor, and they hug. She just wrapped her shit arms around her. Are we?
Yeah, I know.
Kidding?
Well, she left her post-surgery. She's like, Zapho's sleeping happily. I'm like, I think you're supposed to monitor your dog post-surgery, though, but all right. It's like, you spent Thanksgiving with my family. I'll spend it with yours. Okay, that's the end of that storyline. Carrie arrives home, and this is where we are now at the end, just so you guys know. This is the end. So I'll blast through all of the
This is when they decide to do the wrap-up of everyone's storyline. Now, mind you, they only showed Anthony and Giuseppe. They actually didn't even show Giuseppe until this scene. mind you, their characters don't really matter, but if you're going to do full-blown, you have side character, you have Patti LuPone there raising the stakes that Anthony will be, or Giuseppe will be cut off if he stays. You dumped that storyline and you morphed the storyline into that he has mommy issues. I'm just perturbed.
Well, Carrie comes home. We thought during the watch along, we're like, who's going to be there? And then I thought it was going to be Wyatt with a machine gun. But no, it was no one. She's home alone on her own. And she goes to her karaoke thing, which I guess Miranda, she wanted to get rid of it last episode, but now I guess she's keeping it. And she picks You're the First, the Last, My Everything, a song I've never heard before. And
also, it's not even a karaoke track. It's a regular track. There's
maybe I guess she figured. Oh, somebody wrote, I think it was Rebecca. She's like, Carrie has trouble with pick 2, but she manages to know how to work her karaoke machine. So she puts that on and she kind of walks around the house like, now we got a whole montage of everyone eating their pies. And they picked all these.
What was this song called again?
You're the First, the Last, My Everything.
Okay, I just want to look at what some of the lyrics are here. So you keep going.
Okay, so we have Anthony and Giuseppe goes, so you really think that I wanted to marry you because I want a mommy? And then Anthony's like, yes. And he's like, I don't even have the English words for what I feel. Smashes Anthony on the, what?
That scene.
Yeah, that's what
we're pissed about that. I literally was shocked. I was surprised. I'm like, he couldn't even just go, and he couldn't just take some of the cream and put it on Anthony's nose.
Oh, that would be cute. That's what they wanted a pie in the face. Cream pie.
Now, this song is a man singing to a woman, and he's singing, you're my kind of wonderful. That's what you are. I know there's only one like you. There's no way they could have made 2. Girl, you're all I'm living for. Your love, I'll keep forevermore. This is about being yourself on your own.
I would think maybe it's supposed to be about John, but it's not. It's not even like, oh, I'm gonna honor my husband for the rest of my life. This is supposed to be about herself.
The end of the show, the point of the thing is that she's playing this music being on her own.
Yeah, I know.
Why have we chosen a song that's about a man singing about how great you are? It should be about how empowered you are.
A movie that I recently watched that you've been trying to push on me, First Wives Club, ends with them singing You Don't Own Me. And that is really cheesy and it fucking works. It works
perfect.
So well.
Is that movie not so good though?
It is. I think I hate Diane Keaton. I think I just hate her in general.
Well, she is annoying in the movie, but I still
she plays that exact character in everything.
Oh yeah.
She's like, Diane. All right.
Diane.
She gets naked and something's gotta give. I hate the concept of that movie. Okay, pumpkin for Charlotte's family. And
why?
We didn't catch this last night, but Charlotte says, "Oh, I'm so sad I deleted that picture." And Rock's like, "Well, I don't care. That was just somebody I was playing." And then Lily's like, "I have them," and they're all looking. And then Rock almost indicates, "I might not be non-binary anymore," because they say, "I'm going to be a lot of different people in my life, Mom. Just to let you know."
Okay, but that is what being non-binary is.
Sure. Fine.
Is that you could wear dresses sometimes, you could wear pants. So in a way,
like Scola or Jinx.
I'm going to say I'm going to hold strong to that. I like the storyline of the idea of whatever. I just wish they would have had more time to develop instead of having it with Charlotte just deleting the picture. And then this episode, the only reference is Charlotte being like, "Well, honey, I deleted it because I thought you wouldn't like it."
Well, Lily has them. So that's how that wraps up. Apple crumble for George Washington and LTW. And
why?
Like, good thing about
George Washington had an apple tree or something.
I don't remember why they said this, but George Washington said, "Good thing about not being comptroller, not being out in social media or whatever, in the public eye, I can have 2 pieces of pie." I'm like, nobody cares if your comptroller isn't hot or is fat.
I couldn't guess who our comptroller is here, and I'm going to take a wild guess that they're not hot.
For sure. Carrie, now they went on and on in the podcast.
Wait. LTW wraps this one up too for them and says, "You know what, honey? This mess, we got it." Literally, that's like her end. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just led to believe that, life goes on and this mess, they got it. Cool.
Yeah. Well, they're also super rich, so they're going to be fine.
Of course. All of them are.
And he kind of lets her know, I'm over it. Well, that's what they say in the writer's room too. They're like, he's letting her know I'm over it now. Okay.
They should have had a much higher stakes than the comptroller. Then this is absurd.
Carrie, Michael Patrick King was so proud of this. He's like, Carrie gets out her pie. She puts a spoon right in the middle of it. She doesn't even get a plate. And that's the nice thing about living on your own. You get perks like this. I'm like, you could do this if you didn't live alone too. This is their point. And he's like, Sarah Jessica just thought of that on her own. Can you believe it?
The reason that she can shove the spoon right in the middle of the pie is because she's going to have that one bite and then throw the rest in the garbage. Let's be real. Like, she's not going back to that in the middle of the night, scooping out more chunks. Like,
I mean, that's what I would do. Seema and Adam,
but it's Carrie.
Seema and Adam are eating, and Seema's like, I don't even miss the gluten.
This,
so I guess
that pissed me off too. Again, another dumb. That's their wrap up. That is their wrap up.
Yeah, she's
changed.
She's changed for the worse, friends. I think.
Sorry, friends.
Miranda and Joy lemon meringue because they're both can be kind of sour but sweet, and they are just like eating happily. They're fine.
They're like, it's okay. We love each other.
Sure. Carrie now rewrites her epilogue to say, the woman wasn't alone. She was on her own. And in the background, it zooms out and the cat. You can't train a cat, but this cat knows what it's doing because without even needing to be corrected, it jumped up on the table and just stood there. Can you imagine? They went on about this cat. And then
you are the Writer's Room podcast. Skip that detail and talk about what your intention was behind any of this.
Yeah.
But, oh, wait, you didn't have one. Your intention was, I saw someone do something so silly one day because I'm out of touch with reality, and seeing a person do just something normal. Is so out of
Can you believe that poor person did that? Well, it ends with Carrie kind of singing along to the song, but you can tell that Sarah Jessica Parker's like, make sure that my audio is like really low for this.
Like, I don't know the words.
This ends. Yeah. And then it goes to immediately dun 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 dun. And
this is a good reason to join our Patreon because I genuinely was like, I wasn't paying attention or something. Yeah. And I thought it was doing the thing where it starts a new episode because mine does that.
Me too.
And I was like, oh, okay. It's playing the fucking theme song. And then I was like, wait. Is this playing? And then we confirmed it. That did me in. Now I understand there are some people who appreciated that, which I get it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But in no way does your series deserve to even have that indicating that it has anything to do with Sex in the City, because you ruined it. I was I never went into it wanting to like it in the first place, never watched it, but I really left. I was leading to the end of this with, as negative as we are, I wanted something okay to happen, and
anything, but it's just they didn't know that it was going to be canceled. So I would love to know
if they didn't know it was going to be canceled. This season finale.
I would like to think they would have. I just think that they should have gone back in good faith, and now when they knew they were going to be canceled, gone in, scrapped what they had, and maybe everyone take a pay cut of $500,000 to film one last episode together in the same room.
I don't think they wanted to take their pay cut.
No, I don't think so either.
And I think that's why their show ultimately probably got canceled too. Guys, leave that.
We did it.
Why'd they get canceled? How would you fix it? All that ish. Tell us that you're in the hour 9:20 crew in the comments, babe. Hit subscribe, hit like, all that shit. We're gonna do
on this one. We're gonna talk in the weekly roundup this week about like our and just like that video is gonna be just us talking about what went wrong. So please give us content now, and we'll read all of your shit again, because that went really well last week, and it was lovely to see all of your guys' comments, and people were like discussing a lot of them. So that was great. So do that again, and we'll take screenshots and put those up again for this week's weekly.
Yeah, that'd be great. Also, if you want to, check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/podinthecity. Over there, we do extra episodes every week. This week, in fact, we dropped 3 things. So literally, this is the time to join.
We Smash, Girls,
Talk, all of it.
Oh, sorry. Smash, Girls, Pillow Talk. We're about to start All Stars 2 Drag Race. What is the other one? Oh, Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, yeah, Vanderpump Rules.
It's solid. It's a solid grouping of the shows. I think that's it. We love you guys.
If you don't want to listen to the stuff, it's a nice way to support us too as well.
Yeah. And join us every Friday because we're going to continue to hash this shit out every Friday. And we're also going to always put up us watching the episodes every
we're going to start doing that for now as much as we can. And but we'll put those over on our Patreon. The full watch alongs, because really we can't put those up here.
You can buy them for $5.
Sue us. They'll sue us, I think.
They will, I think. That's it. We love you guys, but this is not goodbye because we're still going to be around bitching about this show until we're as old as Carrie.
Carrie. I think for me too, I am sad this is over. But remember, starting next Friday, our live is going to be focused on a rewatch of season 1.
And just like that, season 1. Great.
Hold on one second. I gotta find something real quick here. Just 1 second. Sorry. I just want you to know.
10 seconds away from finishing.
Damn it! Where is this
screeching halt?
Hey.
Yeah.
They say nothing lasts forever. Dreams change, trends come and go, but friendships never go out of style. Bye guys. All right. And just like that.